All right, so good day to each and every one of you all, and welcome to our Parlay Proz call. Guys, my name is Michael Ali, and I'm going to be your host for this short meeting here this afternoon. If you're hearing me loud and clear, by the way, just drop me a quick one in the chat, right? Just to make sure, that my mic is working. All right, lovely. All right, so I'm seeing the ones coming in. All right. So again, welcome to each and every one of you all, and welcome to Parlay Proz. Right. My name is Michael Ali. Guys, we have something, super exciting for each and every one of you all. Right. Something that you could use and make, a part-time income. You could even do it professionally, right, on that level and make a full-time income from it. Right. We're going to debunk a lot of things, on this call here in the next 15 minutes. Right. But before I dive into that and show you what we're working with, let me just give you a little introduction, about myself, right? And, how, I am a part of this organization, right? So my name is Michael Ali. I'm 38 years of age. I'm full-time in this space, well over 7 years, right? But came from humble beginnings. My both parents were employees. My dad is a retired police of 30-something years service. Mom, retired teacher of 30-something years service as well. Now, both years combined working permanent jobs, right, for the government, right? You're looking at over 60 years, right? And they didn't get rich, while working their job or even after they retired, right? All their money went back in paying off their loans, for the house that they have and these things. And they're actually living, off of their pension, right? That, thank God for my success, they're living a way better life, than they supposed to, right? Based on their salary, right? And, I did it that same exact way. I'd say I cultured the same exact way. Michael, you need to go to school, you need to get good grades, you need to get yourself an education, and then you need to find a job. How much of you all on the call, probably heard that same blueprint as well? Drop a 2 in the chat for me, right? If you heard that same blueprint, and probably you're passing that same blueprint, to your kids, right? Nothing wrong with the blueprint, but I'll tell you, me personally, I believe that that blueprint, right, doesn't exist in this era that we're living in, right? Things has changed, totally changed, right? I mean, hey, long ago, persons could have bought a house, for $200,000-300,000, right? But I tell you that $1 million today, right? Saving your money, you can't save a good million, and it can't purchase anything good today, right? I could tell you that, right? So, I did it that way, and, I got employed with TCL, Trinidad Cement Limited. I worked there for 11 years. Very early on, I got permanent at the age of 21. And the biggest mistake of my life, is taking advice from people that doesn't have the results or success, that I want to manifest in my life, right? Everybody around me was saying, Michael, since you're young, you're permanent, you just got permanent, you could now take a loan because you're pretty young and you could buy a car. You could get yourself a nice new car or a roll on roll off. And I did that, right? I bought myself a Corolla Altis, supposed to pay that off in 4 years, right? But based on other deductions and that loan deduction, right, that I was paying, things like sports club, credit union, shares, right, NIS health surcharge, right, your pay as you earn, right, all these different things that I was paying, right, I'll tell you that I was left with nothing at the end of the week. We were weekly paid there. And I kept refinancing that car loan, right? Every time 6 months passed, 7 months passed, I would go to the credit union, refinance, so they would take out a little more on a weekly, start over the loan, but I would get back a little lump sum, a little $2,000 or $3,000 in my hand, which was a lot for me back then, right? If I had to do stuff, right? If I had to line with the boys or travel or go just to keep up with everybody else, right? And I did that, and that loan went on for well over 10 years, right? Um, I knew at, I would say when I got married, my wife was pregnant at that time. I was still living by my parents, and I was borrowing money to put gas in my vehicle from my parents. I was borrowing money to buy foreign used tires for my car, right? And this is where, I realized that that light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, Michael, what you're doing is not working for you financially, right? And if you just keep waiting for another 10 years, nothing is going to change, right? So I needed to do something additional or something different. I didn't know, what to do, but I needed to do something, right? If it's work a little extra taxi, right? Or plant some agriculture, right? Or something, I needed to do something, right? And, around that time, back in 2017, all right, there were a company that now introduced in the Caribbean that was teaching persons how to, get involved in the financial market, get involved in understanding trading on the foreign exchange market and these things, right? Didn't know anything about it, but I still made that leap of faith and I got involved and I really dedicated the time in learning. So that was my first rodeo, right, in the digital space. Got involved in digital marketing as well at that time as well, right? And, I absolutely killed it. Reason being is that I made a lot of legitimate sacrifices at that time because now I was focused and I knew exactly what I wanted. Things that, wasn't bringing in any money for me, right? I had to cut it out. Things like, liming with the boys on a Friday, right? So real lime, and I was broke. Used to be running up some big bills in the at the bars and these things, and had to pay it off, at the end of the month. Sometime you can't pay it off, right? So you had to go to our next location, right? So things were really bad, right? I had to stop watching TV. I used to watch all the series you could think about: Game of Thrones, Flash, Arrow, right? And I take that time and I just reinvested it, in that craft. Guys, within 1 year, I was able to make a decision to quit my job and focus full time on my craft. 2.5 years in that company, I got to a level that was paying 10,000 US a month, right? And, I'll tell you that 5 years in that industry, I've made millions of dollars, right? I left that company and I got involved with another company, all right, doing something a little different. And within the first month, I was able to make $500,000, right, in the first month of the company because I carried the 5 years experience into that company. Stayed there for 1 year, exactly 1 year, made millions with them. And then, I decided to start my own thing, branch off and do my own thing, right? And today we have multiple companies, but we're going to talk about Parlay Proz today. Right now, sports betting is nothing new to me. I was doing this, long since I was broken, right? I wasn't winning, but, I love sports. I used to put something on the money line with basketball and even football and these things, right? I used to bet with a local company called Trini Bets back here in Trinidad, right? And, the only time I started to become profitable, I would say probably about 2 years ago, when I started to apply the technical analysis, to the sports, actually looking at the data, right, and making decisions. But it took a lot of work, right? When I say a lot of work, I'm going to explain that to you. For the first thing first, in order for someone to get involved in sports betting, right, you need to register with a casino, right, or a sports book or whatever you want to call it, right? Any there are a lot of sports book out there, right? Bet365, FanDuel, DraftKings, depending on what country you're from, right? Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I'm a son knocking the door there, all right? So yeah, so you need to register, with a sports book, right? And follow the registration form, submit your documents, get verified, and now you could start placing bets, right? You fund your account, whether it's credit card or Skrill, right? We use Stake here, and Stake, I love Stake because it's cryptocurrency, right? So you just click the wallet here, right? Well, you choose your currency here, click your wallet, right? And you make a deposit and you make your withdrawals, right? Straight back to your wallet. It doesn't take long. It takes about probably 2 minutes to do a withdrawal, hits your wallet, and probably a couple of minutes to do the deposit as well, right? And then you want to go to sports here. And let me go down to sports here to basketball here and go down to NBA. Right? And when you go down to NBA, you're going to see, let's say you want to place a bet on an NBA game, right? So this is where you call a money line bet, one team to win another team. But let me go into a team. Let's say Brooklyn Nets versus, Boston Celtics, right? And there are a lot of different variation of bets and lines that you could place. There's handicaps. There's if the game is going to overtime, total points inclusive of overtime. If both teams gonna score combined points. So there are a lot of things you could bet. But we focus on mainly something called player props, right? I mean, you could bet a team to win another team, but it could be very volatile and, it could go anyway, right? But most times, players tend to hit, their specific average for the game, depending on what is the line, right? So when you go to player props, you're going to see that there's a lot of players that is available to be bet on, right? For instance, let me go to Jason Tatum. I'm sure everybody know about Jason Tatum who follows the NBA, who follows basketball, right? And Jason Tatum here, right? The bookies, the sports book, they set the line for you, right? You have points to bet on. There's rebounds, threes made, steals, blocks, turnovers, points plus rebounds, points and assists, points, assists and rebound, steals, blocks, double, assists, first quarter points, first quarter assists, first quarter rebounds, right? And they set the line, right? They say, hey, we offering 28.5 in points. You have the opportunity to place a bet for over, right? Or you have the opportunity to place a bet for under. That is your prerogative, right? That is your choice, whatever you want to do. Then it have rebounds, it's 8.5. You could place a bet for over or place a bet for under. Right now, what we used to do, right, before we came out and invested millions of dollars behind this company, is that we used to manually, right, do the work. So we had to go on Google, right, and then we had to type in Jason, right, Tatum, Jason Tatum, go to stats, right, and then we had to go now to points. So if the line is 28.5, right, we're going to have to look at his last 10 games, right? 10, because sometimes 15 and 20 is a lot to look at, right, and go through. So we look at 10, and we'll say, all right, he didn't go over 28. He stayed under 28.5 here, right, barely, right? He under 28.5. He's on 28, right? So that's a 1 for under, 1 for above, another one, two for over, 3 for over, 4 for over, right? So there's a 40% chance, right? 4 times out of 10 he went over, and there's a 60% chance that he stayed under, right? So we don't like that bet. So we'll go on to rebounds, right? And we'll check to see if he's over or under 8, right? And we'll check the percentage on that. Then we'll go to threes, then we go to steals, then blocks, then turnovers, then points and rebound, points, rebound, and assists, 43.5. So we had to manually check here. Points plus rebound, 28, and 4 is 32, plus assists, right, is 37. And my maths are good. Sometimes I used to get that wrong, right? And it takes a lot of time, and you get tired, right? And you have to go through everybody. You can't get tired on your work, right? This used to take 4 or 5 hours, and sometimes we do it as a group, as a team. I'll delegate certain persons, to go through certain teams, right, and come back and give me all the lines that hit 90 or 80 or 70 or 100%. What are the best lines? And we'll come together and we'll make one bet, right? One bet, and we'll take that bet. So it takes a lot of time when you're doing it professionally, right, guys? Hey, what we did is we designed something that cut down that whole 5 hours into minutes, literally about 5 minutes. You could have probably about 10 bets in 5 minutes, right? Anybody find that hard to believe, right? Be honest with me. Drop a 333 in the chat if you find that hard to believe. We're going to cut down all that, right, with what we did. So we invested, a lot of money, right? Me and Jeremy, what we did, I was like, hey, Jeremy, with all this AI technology that is in existence, is there any way that we could take this website, right, and feed it into, some like this, how this have this chat GBT and these things, right? Do you think it have any AI that you could feed the website in, and the website could tell you who are the players that went over 100% or 90% and do these things, right? And that talk, we started to talk to developers in Trinidad, and nobody could actually do the work, right? They didn't know how to code for it. They didn't know how to start it. Some of them told us that it would take a year, 2 years to even complete something like that, right? And then they put us on to persons in the States. One person put us on a person in Europe, and then we get specialists, to come together and work on each individual parts, to complete this project, right? And this is how Parlay Proz was born, basically, right? So let me log into Parlay Proz here, right? I'm gonna blow your mind, guys. I'm pretty excited, for this information, because we have persons who now started and they are absolutely killing it, right? There, a guy showed me that he took $4 and made close to 160 something US dollars with $4 just last night, right? And then another person used $20 and made $1,000, right? Another person used $50 and made $1,200 and some dollars, right? So people are absolutely killing it, right? But before all right, so let me launch the scanner. Before I launch the scanner, in fact, right, let me show you something here. Right, we do send picks, on a daily basis for individual. We sent out the pick already for today. So you go to picks, right? And every single day, we try our best to send a pick per day for all active members in the company. I'm not going to open up today's pick. Next thing, somebody just, snapshot it, right? And, they take it and they cheat the system, for free, right? So I'm not going to encourage that on presentation, but we can look at Friday one, which was last night one. Right, so we could pull up Friday one. Let's open that up, right? And let me see the result of it, right? All right, so it will load it up for you here. All right, lovely. Right, so we sent this pick out last night. Was easy. Miles Turner for under 2.5 blocks, and Darius Garland, right, for under 4.5 trees. Came straight off the scanner. I put 200 on it. I won 358 USD on that. Anybody want to see day before one? All right, we could look at Thursday one. All right, let me open up this link as well. All right. Matter of fact, let me open up Wednesday one time. All right. Try to go through all fair. You'll get a hint, right? So we had this one here, Roland Holland, under 0.5 trees made, right? And Stephen Curry, we won that. Once you see the tick and the win on the ticket here, Steph Curry for under 6.5 trees, right? We were able to catch our line for 6-7 trees in our game is insane, even for Curry, right? I put 200 on that. I won 441, right? Some persons drop a whole 500 US on this game, right? Guys, you still need to be responsible regardless of our win rate, right? And then we had this was Wednesday one, right? Jamal Sheed for under 29.5, PRA, and Dequan Jeffries for under 1.5, still at 0, right? So this was breeze, right? Breeze, easy, walk in the park, put 100 on that one, 170. I actually put a lot more on this one, right? But I realized persons was watching how much I put, and they were kind of averaging how much they should put, right? So I started to kind of boil it down to 100, 200 now, right? And kind of do my stuff in the back end when nobody looking, right? So yeah, so I don't want to go through all, right? But you get in, right? So let me go on to the scanner, right? And let me launch the scanner here. And probably we could analyze, right, one of the game. Let's do the one for last night. I think this one was last night, Friday night, right? And you see why we took this. So Miles Turner for 2.5 blocks under, and Darius Garland. Why did the scanner give us this, and why we made a decision to take it from the scanner, right? So let me pull up Miles Turner. So this is the scanner here, right? You want to go to the player database here, right? And I will explain and break down the scanner for you. And you want to go to Miles, right? How you spell the Miles? M-Y-L-E-S. Right. So you want to go to Miles, M-Y-L-E-S. Right. And Miles Turner, this is a whole NBA database here. Right. And we had him for under 2.5 blocks. Right. So let me go for blocks and let me go to 2.5, set it for 2.5. Right. And this was, he went over 2.5, right, blocks in one game out of 10. So that wasn't bad. I had a 90% chance that he was going to stay under this particular line. And this came up right to the top, right? Just clicking his scanner, right? In 15 games, he went over 2 times in 15 games, right? You know what he was doing here? You had 7 in this game, right? But not every day is the 20th or the 2nd, right? So basically, out of 15 games, he stayed under 13 out of 15 games. So was that a good opportunity to take a under 2.5 blocks, right? Knowing that the past historical data showed you that that line he stayed under 13 times and went over 2 times out of 15. Yes or no in the chat? Was this a good opportunity to take an under on it? Right? Did we do good? Did we guess? No. Did we gamble? No. So we debunk a lot of things. People will say, Michael, long before we had this scanner, right? I sure you're not winning in them sports, right? And they don't understand what they don't know, right? They just don't understand what they don't know, right? Because if they are wrong persons, right, that not, they're not winning or successful in a particular field, right, they will be negative to certain things, right? And then there are persons who feel they know everything and they don't know anything, right? There are a lot of persons like that, a family like that as well, right? So, so be it. People are saying, hey, a gambler is always a loser. But for 1 month, I won 39 games and lost one, right, out of 40 games, right? I mean, if a gambler is always a loser, how come my win percentage is so high, right? How come I in huge profits, right? How come sometimes for the week I rack up thousands of dollars, right? So be it. Again, who are you listening to, right? Some people may say, the casino has the edge. Yeah, the casino has the edge. I wouldn't lie, right? If you're guessing, if you're betting and gambling based on feelings and emotion, but when you have analytical data and stats to back up the decision that you're making, most time than not, you're going to be highly profitable, right? And when you have AI technology in this time, and I mean, hey, this might not have been possible just a year or 2 years ago, right? But now in 2025, guys, it's way easier to become a multimillionaire, right? From sports, right? So let me go on to the other person, Darius Garland, Gar Land, right? So let me pull up him, Gar Land, right? And what we took him for? We took him for under 4.5 trees. So let me pull up that. All right, let's see if that was a good bet. You tell me. All right, 3 pointers, set it for 4.5, right? And yeah, this was a 90% of the time in the last 10 games, he stayed under 90% of the time. He had 3 years. He didn't even have 4, right? And this was he needed 5 for us to lose. If he's on 4, you still win, right? So if he's on 4, you would have still win. He was nowhere close to 4 in 9 out of the games. This game he went over, no problem. I don't know what went on there. Probably was feeling lucky. Probably some girl was in the stands and he was trying to impress her. All right. But in 15 games, hey, nowhere close. Again, 13 times out of 15, he stayed under. Right. So was this a good bet as well? Right? These two bet combined, making up a nice odds ticket. Was this good? Right? Yes. Right? So this is what we do, right? And I'm not going to go through all this, right? I don't need to oversell and show you all these things. Let me go straight on. How did the scanner arrive at these lines, right? The scanner did exactly what we wanted the scanner to do, right? This is what they built it for in the best of their ability. So this part is what we call the projections part. So the projection part, right, is based on this website, Stake, right? Now we could get lines from any casino out there, right? But we're gonna use Stake for now, right? And what it does, it scans the whole entire Stake website, provide all the lines. You're talking about thousands of lines, right? You could do this to 100 on a page and you could keep going. They give you all the lines. The only difference with the lines now, right, is that they sort it. You have the ability to sort the lines, right? So if I want to sort the lines on the last 5 games or sort it on the last 10 games, L5, L10 means last 10, last 5, and last 15 games, I could sort the lines that they pull from the website in whatever order I want it here, right? So they're saying here right now, Azar Thompson, the line for points and rebound is 10.5 on Stake right now. We could go to Stake and check it out, right? So he's playing for the Detroit and Oklahoma, all right? So let me go to Azar Thompson here, all right? Detroit. Let me go to player props. And let me go to Assad Thompson. And let me go to points. I believe it's points and rebounds for 10.5. So let me go to points and rebound. And you could drop the line here, right, to 10.5. And now you could bet over. Why are you betting over? Right? Somebody say lines. Lines are what the sports will give you. Right? That is the line. Right? They give you. The line is 10.5. Right? You had a bet over and under. So they pull the line. 10.5 is available. They give you the line. Right? They give you, the scanner calculates the average the player does in 10 games. He's averaging close to 15 a game. So there's a difference when you minus the line from the average. Hey, they still have 4.4 points to play with. So that means he's projected to even go higher than the line. Right? So the line is not close to his average. It's even higher. Look here, he's at 13.1, right? For this particular person here. right? I don't want to give out any bets, right, on the call, right? But anyhow, so in the last 5 games, he went over 5 times out of 5 because it's 100% written here. In the last 10 games, he went over 100, 10 out of 10, 100%. And in the last 15 games, he went over 100% in 15 games, right? The scanner was able to pull this up. So let's look at the 10.5 on points and rebound. So points and rebound here. This line here is what the casino offers. And now you can go now and see the projection here. All right. This is 20 games I pull up here. So he stayed under in 20 games. But in 15 games, according to the scanner, he went over 15 out of 15. Incredible stuff, guys. But still, 19 out of 20 going over is a nice over. All right. And it calculates everything for you. Remember I said we used to do the points and the rebound manually? It calculates that for you. So you see the top figure here? This is the tallied between the two different variational lines here and the tally to the top here, right? Then you could go to PRA, right? It tallies that, then blocks, then steals, blocks and steals combined, turnovers, 3-pointers, 3-point attempt, right? You don't even shoot threes, right? Guys, watch me. The scanner, let me tell you something here. The scanner picks up lines that the sports book not supposed to give you, right? So there are secrets and techniques. I did a whole comprehensive recorded video in the tutorial section. So once you sign up, you're going to see tips and tricks that you're going to make money. It's almost like 100% guaranteed to make money, right? So what this scanner does, when it picks up the lines and present to you, right, and you get things that are 100%, or you get things with big discrepancy because you see the lines that they provide, it fluctuates, it moves, and it's like equipment that is doing it. It's software that is putting the lines. It's not people going to update that all the time. So it keep on moving all the time, right? And when you do it manually, it takes a long time to find it, right? But when you have a scanner that picks it up immediately and you take that bet, within 5 minutes, they remove the line, right? So I may be able to catch this line here for 10.5, but half an hour after, you might come and see my bet and say, but how you get it for 10.5? Right now, the casino has them for 15.5 and over. And if you go on 15.5, right, you mightn't get 100% in 15 games, right? 15.5, you might only get, a 40% chance or a 53% chance of going over. So you miss that, right? So lines move very quickly, and I wait, right? And we teach persons. So we say, so this is where some persons select multiple games for high odds and sometimes win or lose by one. Yeah, you could build bigger the bets, right? Right, I only add just a couple persons to the ticket. But if you add multiple persons, you could build big bets, right? That's why you see people build 1 to 100 bets and all these things. So if I go to Kate Cunningham, right, and I take our one line, that's a 2 to 1. But some people want to add more. So you see 3 to 1. You see 390, 540. Probably you want to take assists, 9 to 1. Right? Probably Tobias Harris here, you want to take some lines here, right? Because you get all that from the scanner, 60 to 1, right? Probably same as Azad Thompson here, right? And you want to take this. So people build lines. They build lines and they come up with a ticket. Let me put the ticket here. And the ticket might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lines, right? And they crack it, right? They get 12 good lines and they crack it. And, sometimes they put a little $50 on it, right? And that gives you 12,000. Well, there you go, put $50 to get 12,000. They'll be more conservative. They might put $5, right, to win 1,255 US. Right, and they hit it, right? Sometimes they lost one line. If you lost one line on a parlay ticket, you lost the whole entire ticket, right? Which is fair because you get an opportunity to invest small money for a high potential gain, right? And people dominate this, right? We have a whole comprehensive breakdown on how to build parlays, right? How to design your parlays, how to not get your parlays voided and these things, right? In the back office, right? Under the tutorial section, right? No, you could search any player. Probably there's a specific player that you want to bet on. You could search him here and see if his lines are available, right? You could even bet game by game. Probably there's a specific game you want, Golden State, right? You could pull up Golden State and get the lines that are available for Golden State, right? Probably you wanna see under, right? Probably you wanna see under in 15 games. So you click here and it flips the arrow wrong, right? And these are all the unders you could go with. So Mitchell Robinson, under 5.5 is the line for rebound, right? He's averaging 2.5, way under the line by 3, right? And there's 0% of going over. So that means he stayed under 100%, right? So once you see 0%, that means he never went over the line. If you see 5%, if you see 10% here, that means he went over 1 time out of 10. If you see 50%, that means he went over 5 times. If you see 0%, right, that means he didn't go over the line, right? So this is how you read the under. So L15, right? 15 out of 15. So let me look at a popular player here. Cameron Payne, right? We have, this line here is at 10%. All right, let me see. Mikael Bridges on 3-pointers made. Let me check out Mikael Bridges, right? All right, so it's not a complete 100%, right? It's a 90%, right? 10% he went over, right? That means 1 time in 10 games, right? And he went over 1 time in 15 games. So, you have he went over 6.7%. So you have a 93.3% chance of staying under this line for this 2.5 trees, right? That is you, right? That is your option. So this is how quickly the scanner, right, gives you lines, right? You could even design bets on specific areas. Probably you want to do, I like to do 3-pointers only, right? You could do that. Sometimes I like to do blocks and steal only, right? Sometimes I want to do steals, blocks, and 3-pointers. You could design that as well, right? And it's going to pull up all that for you. So steals, 3-pointers, right? Look, Steph Curry here. Let me see if you could get under on his 3-pointers here. Remember, we get 6 point something for Steph Curry the last time, eh? So look, Steph Curry, 3-pointers here. They drop the line to 5.5, right? So, sometimes you pick up good lines and sometimes they are bad lines, but it's just patience with it and you're going to be good. You're going to be good. So if you go here on Steph Curry here, right, we got a 6.5 line on Steph Curry for threes and we took a under. So if we go back to Steph Curry here and you go to threes, you're going to see that, hey, they're only giving you up to 5, right? So they change lines very quickly. Sometimes you get good lines. There's a time we got a guy named Edie. He's a new player. He's big and tall. He don't even shoot threes. And the scanner was able to pick up 3-pointer 0.5, right, for that particular person, right, for under. And I had him at 0% and everything. And when I look at his 3-point attempt, the guy wasn't even shooting threes. So he wasn't even shooting threes, right? And the scanner picked it up because apparently Snake made a mistake and they offer it there. Not supposed to offer it. And I was able to drop, and everybody in the team were able to drop some money on it, right? Because if he's not even attempting threes, that means there is no chance of him going over that line because he's not shooting it, right? He's an in the post player looking for a rebound after the 3-point specialist shoot, right? So we're able to pick up those things, right? Bet your bottom dollar they never put back that line again, right? But we're able to catch it and see it very, very, very quickly, right? How much of you all are impressed, right, with what we have created and what we have here? Drop a 777 in the chat here, guys. Somebody said only a month the scanner was out for. Less than a month. And we already had 400 and something persons got involved. Let me show you something with our Parlay Proz active members group here, right? 447 members already, right? Literally in just a couple weeks, right? And the bets that we send out, right? Look, this guy here, he put $4 and win 139. He built a big parlay, right? And these persons are new to this, right? So you see the win here. Let me magnify it here for you. So you see the win here, right? This is his parlay, a nice big parlay. Just looking at the video that I have done, right? And he was able to build his own parlay, $4 to 139. That's cool money, right? So you don't necessarily have to come in and look to be greedy and bet big and whatever. A little $2, $4, and you're good, right? Everybody was posting their win here last night. $150 here, right? Another one post, he win $10 to $17, right? This one win here too, right? So everybody is absolutely winning and crushing it, right? Even not only on their own bets, but even on the company bets that we send out as well, right? All these are people that share their wins on a daily basis here, right? So yeah, guys. So people are eager to get involved, right? We have a deal, we have a promotion, right? As I say, we invested a couple millions to get it to this level. We are working on other sports right now. WNBA is completed, right? We're going to work on NHL. We're going to work on soccer. We're going to work on tennis, baseball, NFL, right? We're going to have a whole complete sports, all sports available here in our scanner. We're going to integrate more AI technology with, who is the starting lineup, who is on injury, right? Who is, give full, all reports. So now you could use this to your advantage. If somebody has nursing an injury, right, and he's playing less minutes, it's good for more an under bet, right, because he's not going to play much time, right? So yeah, we only have basketball for now, but there's a lot of basketball. There's like 10, 15 games per day in basketball, straight out to May. So you have a lot of money here to make in basketball. You don't need anything else right now, unless you're very greedy, right? And you can make a lot of money in basketball. So you're good. We got you covered, right? Before basketball is completed, you're going to have multiple different sports, right, to deal with, right, to make more money on as well, right? So yeah, first 500 customers, right? The price to get involved is $250 US a month, right? It's totally worth it. People are making that with $2 bets on these things, right? Or even with the bets we send in, right? And we're going to give the first 500 customers, so the 400 and some persons who sign up, they sign up with it only costs them 100 US, right? And you could be a part of that first 500 as well. We only have probably about 40 something more spots, right? You could be a part of that for 100 US you could get involved in. And we're going to give you a guarantee that for the first year, 12 months, you will only pay 100 US, 700 TT, right? The price will not increase on the first 500 customers when we do introduce the 250 US, right? The first 500 will get it at that, right? Once you maintain your subscription, you'll be connected at that price. We give our word. We're not going to go back on that, right? Enjoy, the platform for a very cheap rate, right? Because I know some of you all get involved in all kind of nonsense out there for 250 a month, 300, right? Selling sprays, selling all kind of different nonsense out there, coffee and beauty products and whatever, right? And cool, everything good with that, right? But, some of you are not even making money from it, right? So they said, what about if there is a lapse in payment for the first 500? Well, you lapse in payment by a month, 30 days, it will come out the system automatically, right? We have no control over that, right? Shouldn't be lapsing your payment unless you're working offshore and you have no internet or anything, because every day you're making money, right? What's the sign-up process? All you need to do is get back to the person who invited you to this call, right? Because we do have a referral program going on as well. It's not no multi-marketing level company or anything. All right, it's what we call our referral program. You refer somebody to the company, we're willing to give you 40 US ahead, right? That could help you put money in your pocket, put money in your betting account, in a casino, your online casino, right? You could do anything with it, right? So if you sign up 100 persons, right? We had a young boy, 22 years old, right? In a couple days, 48 hours, right? This guy commissions went over 2,500 US, right? 2,500 US in just a couple days, right? From just marketing, doing a video on TikTok, right? And people were checking it out and getting involved, right? And here's what, right? The money is also residual. It's like royalties. You get to, they come like you are part of the company, right? You own part of the company. So if you have a percentage of the company, meaning that you have 100 people plugged into the platform, right? And you get 40 US this month from all of them, that means you're going to get 4,000 US, right, for that month. If that same 100 resubscribe the following month, we will treat them as though they are new customers for you, right? So you will get a residual income of 40 US again, right? I know it sounds ridiculous, like if we're giving away money here, right? But we saw it as a nice way, right? I mean, the 40 is way too high, right? But we saw it as a nice way to grow the company, right? Because we need customers, right? Because the overhead cost to keep this program running, right, is very expensive to pay for the APIs that is feeding the data and manage the staff. We have a lot of employees that is working on the back end, to make sure that nothing is down. There's no downtime, right? Somebody said, out of 40 games, you lost one. Yeah. Out of 40 games, I lost one, right? not every day going to be the same day. We do have losses, right? But more time than not, you're going to be winning, right? Based on the stats, right? You see it already, right? It wasn't referred, right? All you have to do is go onto the website. You can message the company if it wasn't referred, right? Probably I brought you on, right? So yeah, guys, right? Get back to the person who invite you to the call, right? And let's make money together, right? You can actually get involved in today's bet if you sign up now. All right, so I appreciate you all and have a blessed one and see you on the other side, guys.